Sorry. I was just reading about AEP and the record profits that they're receiving as our electric bills go up and up and up for record demands. Super. Thanks. As they have all these lights out. At least they're all low voltage, okay? They aren't like the old TV lights back in the day that had to use a lot of electricity. These are all these LEDs, so they're all like 2 watts or something ridiculously low. So I don't think all the lights here equal a 100-watt bulb anymore. So at least I got that going for me. And I don't have AC. We don't have central air, so I have a window air conditioner, a couple of them. So at least that's cheaper, right? Than a giant central air unit. Anyway, happy Tuesday, right? Because garbage got picked up today. August 12th, episode 73, day 224 of this magical year we call 2025. Did I mention that I was in this? Heinz. Yes. Catch up if you're behind on this one. You got to go watch it. It's Day Trippin' with Stephen He, and I'm the co-star. I'm the driver. I occasionally make appearances, and I don't get fed. That's kind of the running joke. So go watch it, say it's great, and love me. Give me comments, compliments, how I should be more me, more Randy, more Randsanity. I need my debut, my breakout season, episode 2. I'm just going to have to do this myself. Wait, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing this myself. How's everybody doing, all right? You have a good day? It was a weird day for me. Really, really weird. Just, I can't explain it. It was just weird. I was off. For some reason, just kind of off. Don't know why. Really hot today. Outside hot. But just an off day. I got a good job rejection today. Yes. You always have to love when you at least get a rejection letter. So I don't always get rejection letters. I a lot of times just get ghosted, but at least I got a rejection letter today. Felt happy for that. I'm like, oh, look, someone actually read it, or at least AI did and said, no, we don't want you. Get out. Heidi-ho, neighbor. Heidi-ho. So yes, that. So comment on it. Go like it. Go watch an episode. Watch all of them. There's 9 of them. All right, so let's see. Today is Julianne Fry's day. We talked about Julianne Fry's last night. We love Julianne. She's really nice. I didn't have Julianne Fry's. I did have potatoes, though, that were made in an oven. So they were kind of that. It's Vinyl Record Day, not Record Store Day. This is the format of vinyl records. I think I've talked about vinyl records before, about how the whole music industry shifted when Napster and all the other things came to light about recording. Actually, I'm going to do an interview tomorrow for Business First. Would they say they wanted? Hold on, I realized that. I just remembered this now. I got a text wanting me to interview for Business First tomorrow for the music economy here in Columbus. I said, send me the questions so I can get a jump on them. Yeah, the music economy here in Columbus. Well, where do you want me to start? Good luck. With downloads, it's hard to make money because, bands used to make all their money from merch, selling their music on the road, CDs and stuff, and T-shirts. So if you aren't selling merch and you aren't selling tickets, you're not really much of a musician. You're not making much money. You're not really an artist. You're not going to survive. So there it is. There's the music economy here in Columbus. Good luck with that. See what kind of questions he comes up with that I'll be able to answer with that exact phrasing right there. It's also Middle Child Day. I'm not a middle child, so I don't know. I guess I know some middle children. I mean, that was Jan Brady, right? Marsha. It's all about Marsha. Poor Jan. She was the middle child. And then Peter. Peter didn't seem to have the same middle child syndrome as Jan did, right? Maybe it's just the girls that get beat up worse. Or it was just the portrayal in the Brady Bunch. I don't know. Maybe you could rewatch all the Heinz episodes from start and give your live guy in the van commentary. I could do that. We could watch that together. I mean, it's only going to be like an hour and a half, right? 9 episodes, 10 minutes. Yeah, it's going to be like 90 minutes. I could do that. Rewatch all the Heinz episodes from the start and give your live guy in the van commentary. I could do that. I will do that. I will do that. That sounds like a plan. And then tomorrow sounds like Randsanity Day. I was like, oh, tomorrow's it. Tomorrow is it because it has two things on the agenda. It's Filet Mignon Day and Prosecco Day. I was like, yes, I'm in. I'm totally 100% in. I would do that in a second. I won't, but yes, totally. Prosecco, sign me up. Filet Mignon, grill me up. I'm ready to go. Put me in, coach. Sounds like a day for me. Just do nothing. Filet Mignon and Prosecco it. Yes. Oh, I got offered a weekend gig. I might have to work. Remember I did Jazz and Rib Festival. They have the Soul Festival this weekend. I don't know what the Soul Festival is, but it sounds like it could be fun. Friday and Saturday, downtown Columbus. So you're down around, you should go to the Soul Fest. I don't know who's playing. I don't know anything about it. I just know it's put on by Columbus Parks and Recs, or Rec and Parks. But I might work it. I might go back to my whole bartender managing thing for Soul Fest. Sounds fun. We'll see. I got to find out. I get details tomorrow if I'm going to do it. It'll be Friday and Saturday. So then I'd have to figure out what the hell I'm doing with this again because it says it's like noon to 11 or noon to midnight. So obviously I would not be home in time, which would not work for me. So I've got to figure that out. But anyway, that's tomorrow. Soul Fest this weekend, but tomorrow is Prosecco and Filet Mignon Day. So I'll be all about that tomorrow. I'll try not to be hammered. All right. So in 3 BC was the conjunction of Venus and Jupiter on August 12th, 3 BC. Basically, it is what they believe is the biblical tale of the Star of Bethlehem. And so that's today, and that was also today. What does that mean? We had that same thing. It's the closest it's been since then in conjunction, because there was only less than 2 degrees off. I don't know. Are we seeing the rebirth? Is that what's happening? Is that what the Starship is? That spaceship that's I keep seeing every time there's a Facebook feed, something about this thing coming through the universe. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be Jesus, and he's going to come back and kick our ass. Who knows? It probably should be. 1492, Columbus lands in the Canary Islands. Now, the only reason I haven't brought that up is because I've been sort of dabbling and rewatching The Sopranos here and there, catching some of the episodes. And today's episode, part of the one I caught, was when they were all bent out of shape because the Native Americans were going to do a protest for Christopher Columbus Day. And they were all bent out of shape, and there was all this violence and such. But yes, so The Sopranos got me thinking about Christopher Columbus, and then when I saw that Christopher Columbus landed in the Canary Islands, I was like, oh, there's the reference to TV and such, because there's always life imitating art and vice versa. This was surprising. 1658, the first American police force is formed in New Amsterdam. New Amsterdam basically is Manhattan. And I said, well, but we have a new police force enacted today as well. I mean, and that's in New Washington, D.C. I mean, it's just history repeats itself, right? I mean, that's what I see. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? I did look that up because I was like, conjunction. I was like, that's like, connecting words and phrases. And yeah. But it was right. It was what it is. It's a conjunction when the planetaries align like that. I had to double check. Now, this is weird because just the other day on August 10th, I said Chicago incorporates as a village, population 200. But again, it showed up today as Chicago incorporates as a village, population 350. So make up your damn mind. Was it the 10th? Was it the 12th? Was it in between? Did 150 people show up within 48 hours? And it just was like, hey, we're a village. Everybody shows up and suddenly it's a bigger village. I was confused by all of that. There was another one that was related to the confusing date, so I didn't put it down, about Bertha Benz, I guess, part of the Mercedes-Benz family. She went for a illegal drive. She drove 66 miles with her kids without permission or letting anybody know. It was, I guess, the first recorded drive of that length, because they were just done for short hops. That's a big thing about her route and everything else. But it was like, it said August 5th. I'm like, today is not the 5th. Today's the 12th. So I'm like, what date did it happen? And then it didn't even say that. And I was like confused. And they said, screw it. I'm not going to do it. So I just let that one go. There it is. Okay. Name and you become something later. Isaac Singer patents the sewing machine, the famous sewing machine, 1851. Isaac Singer. So there you go. The Singer sewing machine. Now I knew there was a person. I didn't know it was Isaac Singer, but I knew there was a thing. Now this one got me, and I had to go look for it. 1865, Joseph Lister is the first antiseptic surgery. And then was accounted to be the father of antiseptic and went on tours, and he was from London, and he came to New York, and people were like, nah, we don't get it. New York and Boston did, and then he went around and eventually proved it and all that good stuff. And he was the sort of the father of antiseptic. And you ask, Listerine. Yay, because that's what I was like, oh, did he invent Listerine? He didn't actually invent Listerine, which I was like, wait a second. His name is Joseph Lister. He's the antiseptic dude. How come, wait, what happens? Apparently, a guy named Joseph Lawrence in 1879 invented Listerine in honor of Lister. He named it Listerine in honor of Lister. So he didn't invent it. Some other dude did, but named it after him. So it is a guy's name. So Listerine is named after Joseph Lister. Caught me too, because I was like, wait, what? Right, Listerine, right. See, that's what I thought too. I was like, wait, what? That's, right. One of those things, I don't know. 1877, Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Thomas Edison records his own voice singing Mary Had a Little Lamb on the Thomas Edison phonograph. And then, wait, and what's today? Vinyl record day. Look at that. There's the connection. I mean, it wasn't really vinyl, but it maybe coincidence? I don't know. Somebody must have put those two things together. For it to be that coincidental seems really, really stretching it. So someone must have been like, hey, this is that day, so we should make it vinyl record day, even though it wasn't vinyl. But there you go. Sir Joseph Lister. Right, exactly. But he didn't invent Listerine. And Thomas Edison recorded Mary Had a Little Lamb on vinyl record day. Just saying. It seems like that's how it works. Let's see. 1898, Hawaii is formally annexed in the U.S. or to the U.S. Annexed to the U.S. I forget to see who we annexed it from, but sure. 1908, the first Model T comes off the assembly line, or is driven from the assembly line by Henry Ford himself. He takes out a road trip from Wisconsin to the UP in Michigan. And why is it called the Model T? Well, guess what? It's because he named every one after a letter of the alphabet, and this was the 20th alliteration of it that worked. So all the other ones didn't make it, so that's why he named it the Model T. Who knew? He did have the Model A later. He just restarted it. But this is the reason. The Model T just happened to be the 20th iteration of the working vehicle. He sold like 18 million in a few years. So that's like kind of where Ford got their kickstart right there. So yeah, Ford Motor Company. We knew there was a Henry Ford. The U.S. annexed it illegally from the sovereign Hawaiian kingdom. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I could see that. So we illegally annexed it. Hey, we're just going to take this. Is that annexing or is that thieving? I don't know. Purloining? Stealing? I mean, it doesn't seem that's beyond our capabilities. What are we stealing next? What are we annexing next? That's what I'm wondering. So Charles Birdseye receives a patent for flash freezing food. Birdseye Foods. So there is a dude named Birdseye, which I don't know if you'd really want to have that name, but I guess you could be the guy that patented flash freezing foods. Good old Chuck Birdseye, quick freezing foods. Birdseye. I'm sure they did in stupid amounts of food, and he was probably a horrible person. I read it was something, was it Birdseye or something? But yeah, okay. See, there you go. Okay, don't get me started. Leo Osama government. That's what he was going to say. Watch your back, Greenland. See, you read my mind because that's exactly what's like. What are we annexing next? Just saying. Oh, jeez. But yes, Birdseye Foods. I don't know if it was Birdseye, but it was one of these. Maybe it was. But I guess he was just a horrible, horrible human. It might have been Birdseye. I'll have to go. I was driving somewhere, and I was stuck in the car for a long time listening to NPR. It was one of the family members talking about how his grandfather was just this horrific human. Just everything you can imagine bad about people, he was that. I guess we do that. 1955, minimum wage is raised from 75 cents to $1. $1. Cool. What's it now? Like 7? 55, 65, 75, 85, 95, 2005, 15, 25. That sounds about right. $1 a year? $1 a decade? Jesus. Just saying. 1966, the Beatles hold a press conference in Chicago where John Lennon apologizes for saying we are bigger than Jesus. It's also the day that they kick off their last tour in America. So apparently if he was going to go through the States and make it happen, he probably needed to walk that one back a little bit. All right, just kidding. We're not bigger than Jesus. I was just talking out my butt. Really didn't mean that. But come to the show. I got tickets for sale. I mean, that seems like he walked that back for that reason. I wasn't there to know, but just seems logical, you know. You suck. I'm sorry. All right, we'll forgive you. We'll buy your tickets now. Don Estridge of IBM introduces the PC, the IBM PC, $1,565, bringing the PC to millions at a reasonably affordable price allowed to get to people's homes. You ready for this one? It had 16 kilobytes of RAM. Kilobytes. Man, that computing power. I think my pen has that much computing power now. I mean, this does. What's this? This SD card? I mean, what's this thing right here? This thing has enough memory that, you know, I mean, hell. This is 64. I mean, that's crazy. Megabytes on this thing. I mean, that's, you know, it's a lot. Like, look at this one. This is 28 gigs on this, you know, one of these little SD micros. All right. Had to start somewhere. I'm sure that's going incrementally faster. I've totally gotten out of my AI world because I just was going to fall down that rabbit hole and become like the conspiracy theorist crazy person, which I did read in the New York Times about the dude who lost his mind because he listened to AI and told him it was a superhero. And there was something else another person did too. It's like, so if you're talking to your AI, stop it. Just stop it. Stop doing it now. It is not your friend. It does not know better than you. It may tell you things that are happening that are not. It's called hallucinations. Just stop it. Completely. Stop it now. Just saying. 1988, The Last Temptation of Christ is released in movie theaters. 1991, Metallica. Fifth album, Metallica, is released. Immediately debuts at #1 in Billboard's Top 200. So there you go. When metal was metal. And Ozzy was still Ozzy. Metallica. 1992, NAFTA agreement happens. Okay, where are we at with that? I just haven't checked lately. we're tariffing. Did that happen yesterday? Just checking. 1993, Pope John Paul visits the United States of America. Well, now that we have an American Pope, is he going to be like hanging out like in America more often? Are we going to get like papal visits on the reg? I mean, that's what I'm wondering. Is he going to be like, roll up your windows, we're headed to America. Rolling up the Pope Mobile windows, you know, just bad news over there. So is that what's going to happen with that? I want to know. Are we having the American Pope? Is he hanging out here, or what's going on? Inquiring minds want to know. In 2004, New Jersey Governor James McGreevey comes out as gay. Good for you, New Jersey. Having a gay governor. I didn't even know that. I was completely unaware of that. Apparently that did not make a whole lot of news 20 years ago. I guess it was sort of like, whatever, man. 2013, Whitey Bulger is convicted of 11 counts of murder, 31 of 32 racketeering, blah, 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 blah. Whitey Bulger. Go read about Whitey Bulger. He was a bad dude in South Boston in the 80s. South Boston was not a great place to begin with, but the Whitey Bulger gang was a bad dude back there in the 70s and 80s. There's a movie, Black Mass, with Johnny Depp. You can kind of see that. He was on the lam for 16 years, didn't get caught until 2011, tried in 2013, according to this on this date. And then apparently he was moved around a little bit. He'd spent time on Alcatraz. He actually was an Alcatraz prisoner, but he was on the lam for 16 years. They arrested him in Santa Monica, California. And then when he got moved at some point to prison in 2018, he didn't last but a day, and prisoners beat him to death while he was in his wheelchair. He was also an FBI informant for 20 years. So there you go. He had that going for him as well. Well, for several years until he went on the lam, starting at about 75. But yeah, you know, and I guess he continued to criminal while he was an informant, sort of, you know, hey, these guys are really bad over here. You should go check them out, rival gang. And we just let that happen, right? Good luck with that. In 2013, Elvis is alive and well. A second stamp is issued for the king. It was a black and white stamp. Still shows lots of popularity. Good old Elvis. 10 years ago, we still got a stamp for him. Will we get a third stamp, Elvis? Is that going to happen? I mean, it has been a minute since you died. I don't know. I mean, you know, there's Elvis sightings everywhere. Elvis is everywhere. Elvis is still the king. Elvis is everybody. Elvis is everything. Thank you to our good friend for singing that, Mojo Nixon. Also, rest in peace to you, my friend. Birthdays today, Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits. Money for Nothing. That would be nice. Kid Creole has a birthday today. Sir Mix-a-Lot. Baby's got back. When rap songs had questionable lyrics. That was a questionable lyric back then. 1981, I think, is when that was. Something like that, or when that came out. I don't remember. Cecil B. DeMille was a birthday today. He's the guy that wrote the Ten Commandments. Not like the Ten Commandments. He did the movie, The Ten Commandments. That was a Cecil B. DeMille production. All that grandioseness with Charlton Heston. I met Charlton Heston, oddly enough. So many, many years ago, radio station connection, I said, hey, there's a band playing on Saturday Night Live. I'm going to be in New York. Can I go see Saturday Night Live and go see the band? So they were like, yeah. And they got me tickets to it. Now, see, I didn't realize that you get there like hours before. I was completely unaware of how it worked. Okay. Supposedly you had to get there like, you know, to line up to get the seats inside early. I had no freaking clue. So I showed up like, you know, we went to the bars, we had a good time, me and my buddy. And then we went to go see Saturday Night Live. It was like 11 o'clock. It started 11:30. I figured, you know, just, oh no, they were seated everywhere. We got seated like up like in the stairwell in the balcony. I shit you not. Literally, like we're just sitting in the stairs here because we had band credentials. So we had the credential with the band, so we could go hang out with the band. And yeah, Charlton Heston was there, and it was one of these things that I liked him in movies, and this was before the whole NRA thing and his bit of take my gun from my cold dead hands, Charlton Heston, but it was more of the Ten Commandments and Planet of the Apes, Charlton Heston. But it was so sad. I was so disappointed in this because he kind of like was walked out like, okay, stand here on your mark. And he kind of was just like, and then they had because they always have cue cards, but he had the cue cards and it was just like, he read the cue cards and then it was like, okay, Mr. Heston, come, we're just going to like move you to the next spot. Like he had no interaction other than, and I was just like, oh, that just seems completely just, poor Charles. And then after the show, we got to, go backstage because of the band, and he just happened to be there for a second. And I was like, oh, Charlton Heston. I was like, oh, nice to meet you, big fan. And, he's very like, oh, thank you. But, there was, again, pre-cell phone, so I didn't get pictures. You didn't want to carry this big camera. I'm like, hold on, let me get the camera out. You're putting the flash powder in and getting it, open up that shutter and let it stand for 8 minutes so you get the light exposure. Kidding. I do have the camera though that my dad broke my nose with. I'll have to bring that down and show it to you. It's a big old chunk of metal, like this big box of metal that smashed me. So I have a crooked nose to this day from getting smashed at the Macy's Day Parade. Thanks, Dad. Directions that way? Lights out. Where was I at? That was Cecil B. DeMille. It's also Jane Wyatt's birthday. Father's Knows Best. I don't really remember that show. Maybe a little bit. Who knows? John Cazale's birthday. He was Fredo in The Godfather. I guess he's good friends with Dustin Hoffman. So he was Fredo in The Godfather. He was also in Dog Day Afternoon. Attica with Dustin Hoffman. He was a character actor. He's gone. We lost Mr. Cazale, but yeah. Once I saw, I was like, oh yeah. I know who that name sounds really. I did Fredo, and of course it was Fredo, and I looked up at other movies he did, and I was like, oh yeah, he did a bunch of movies. He was one of those character actors that just did all these little bit parts, but you kind of remember who he is. Not Dustin Hoffman, correct? Not Dustin Hoffman. Peter Krause, his birthday, from 6 Feet Under. I like that show. That was a good show. There was, I always remember there was an episode, I've got to find it, where he did a video of him all dressed in white, I believe. And he went and, I think it was to the song Celebrate, about 6 Feet Under, about death and the funeral home and everything. But it was a really interesting, fun video, and I want to find it because I thought about that the other day. Who knows why? And then Casey Affleck, Ben's younger brother, Casey Affleck. It's his birthday today. The death roll today, not a ton, but Ian Fleming, the author of the James Bond theory series and the sort of initial guy who wrote James Bond 007. The only James Bond that ever mattered, Sean Connery. All the other ones were just wannabes. Henry Fonda. Jane Fonda dad, Henry Fonda. And then Bridget Fonda's grandfather, I believe. Henry Fonda. Merv Griffith. Now, there's a Seinfeld episode where Kramer goes and finds Al Pacino, not Dustin Hoffman. That's it. Pacino, thank you. See, that's why I need Don. Don's my voice of reason and consciousness, fixing my brokenness. Al Pacino, not Dustin Hoffman. Al Pacino. That's it. So there's a Seinfeld episode where Kramer finds the old set of Merv Griffith in the dumpster. Damn it. Didn't even see that one coming. Didn't see it coming. Anyway, he finds the old set of the Merv Griffith studio show, and he sets it up to do a show similar to something that I'm doing like this. And it was denoted how. Oh, I did not change the camera? Oh, sorry. I thought I changed the camera to camera 3. Screwed that one up big time. But he does like interviews, and at one point he's got a squirrel and a hawk. Don't let thing near it. And it was like Marlon Perkins, whatever. And of course this thing. No, do not restart now. Another time. This is what happened before. My stupid, like right before, like literally right before the show, the computer said, "We're updating." I'm like, no. And then just started updating. And I was like, okay, well, hopefully it'll be done by 11 o'clock or I'm going to be really late. Okay. Anyway, what was I saying? Talking about? Oh, yeah, Merv Griffith. And so this is sort of that. This is sort of that, the Merv Griffith set. It's all the crap that encompasses the world that I live in, as well as all the stuff is from the radio station. All the cameras, all the studio stuff that we had. So it's kind of the Merv Griffith set. So I'm just going to, try not to have such a friggin' disaster as they did on Kramer, which it is anyway. It normally is a disaster on any given moment here, as you can all see. Lauren Bacall, also today is her Remembrance Day. And Les Paul guitar. Les Paul left us on this day. So I'll put up the Heinz thing, but if I did that right now, look what it's going to show you. It shows you nothing because Windows is updating. It decided to update. So it did. This computer, I went to say, I told it to do it later. Does it listen? No, it doesn't. It didn't listen to me. Technology just tells me to go bite it. So look, working on updates. See, that's what it's doing. Look, it's working on updates. It picks the most inopportune time to do it. It doesn't supposed to do it when I sleep. It knows that I'm awake at 11 o'clock. I have it set for like 1 a.m. I don't know. What are you going to do, right? That says how it works. Al Pacino. Right. A cappuccino. Al Pacino. Where would I be without you, Don? Giving erroneous facts about Dustin Hoffman. You're right, it isn't Dustin Hoffman. If I think about it, it's totally Al Pacino. I saw Heat. I said Heat the other night. That was on. That's a good movie. A little violent. a little bit of gunplay. Definitely some shots fired in that one. But that's how that goes. Tuesday, right? So I'm going to go see one of my ex-coworkers from the radio station tomorrow. I told her we're going to try and get lunch, I believe. I told her I want all the hot goss. She's like, I got it. I'm like, good. I definitely want all the hot goss because I don't have any. I'm sorry. I just don't have any of the hot goss. It's because I don't work with anybody per se. So there's no hot goss. The only thing that's hot is the sun. I climbed ladders today, so I'm sure today or tomorrow my calves are going to be just killing me. My thighs. I went up and down a ladder like a dozen times today, like 2.5 stories up, 20 feet off the ground. Didn't even think about it. It's my nice, big, strong, sturdy, class 3 fiberglass ladder. One of those big orange ones you see the cable guys have. No, I did not steal it from the cable guy. I stole it from somewhere else, but it wasn't from the cable guy. But it feels so stable. It weighs a ton. It's not one of those flimsy aluminum ladders that you get on and it feels like it's going to bow 200 pounds. Oh no, this thing's just like, it's not moving. I climb up this thing 20 feet. I'm like, as long as it's on the right angle, it was up against a fence, it's not slipping. And I'm not leaning to either side to fall off this thing. So I feel pretty confident in my abilities on a sturdy ladder still. Even though I did fall off a 6-foot ladder and broke my leg a few years back. Yeah, that was fun. No. Got a blood clot and everything. And I did go visit the Rick and Morty mobile, though, on crutches, because why not? You know, you got to visit the Rick and Morty mobile when it's available. So that was that. All right. Let's see. What is it? It's 11 something, right? It's 11 o'clock, 11:30. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna keep this one short without a lot of things going on. I just don't want to recap old stories that don't have any relevance. If I can find relevance to things that happened in the past, I will. But again, notice if you ever read the dates, they usually skip from like 1908. 1930 to 1955. There's a whole section of time missing in there a lot of times, the 30s to the 40s. Everything is baseball or war. There's a lot of World War II stuff in there. You know, things happen on this day and it's like all bad stuff. And I'm just like, yeah, you know what? None of those things seem relative to me in my life or that I want to share and recap with everybody. And I'm really not going to find a whole lot of things that are relative. I'm going to be like, oh, I can relate to that. No, I can't. And I don't think you can either. And I'm not going to do that then. Hence why I don't do political things, because if you really want that, go to the internet. Somewhere else. I mean, not this. This is the internet. But I mean, you just go to whatever and you're going to find it. You know, there's all sorts of crazy crap stuff that I just avoid at every cost. Because, you read the same stuff I do. Make your own assumptions. I'm not going to share that. Sorry. I'd rather share historical things that happened in the past and we can laugh about them and how they're connected to today or they seem similar, but not things that are, oh, wait, we just did that. Right. Yeah, well, that's great. So did somebody else in 1942. Anyway, love you all. Mean it. Have a great Tuesday. Wednesday, hump day tomorrow. I don't know what's going on tomorrow. Anything exciting? It's the 13th. Wednesday the 13th? No? Bad luck day? No. All right. Keep it positive, brother. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep it positive. That's what's happening. See? Thank you, Don. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it positive. I'm positive that there's enough crazy bad crap out there that you can find that you don't need me to recap all that and bring you all down. So I'm just going to smile like a crazy person and an idiot over here and just tell you fun facts and things about tomorrow being freaking Prosecco and filet mignon day. Yes. So please get on your Prosecco and your filet mignon tomorrow because it is the day. And I mean, and look, if it's national for both of those, it's got to be a good one. Just saying. Just saying. Thank you. Appreciate you. As for always, have a lovely rest of your evening and we'll just fade to black. Frickin' filet mignon and Prosecco. Man, I wish I still drank. Pick the hell of time to quit drinking.